Addo Elephant National Park is famous for its elephants, but it also has buffalo, rhinoceros, leopard and lion, making it a Big Five reserve. Predator management in the park is an ongoing process, and it was time for a lion called Jack to have his collar removed. Collaring lions helps with monitoring the movements of the lions, and if it should escape out of the park, it can easily be tracked. The veterinary team first has to dart Jack with a sedative before they can proceed. Once they are sure he is asleep, they move in quickly. First, his legs are secured and then a blindfold put on. They have limited time and have to work quickly. They first start by removing his collar. The team continually checks his breathing while he is asleep, as well as monitor his heart rate.
Once it starts beating a bit faster, it just means that the sedative has been metabolized by the body and it's starting to wake up. Sometimes can give them a bit of a fright and they can wake up a bit sooner. But fortunately the combination that does get used, it does keep him a bit under for a bit longer.
Whenever an animal is immobilized, the veterinarians use the opportunity to take biological samples like blood and tissue for their biobank that can be used for DNA testing or disease surveillance. Hair from the lion also gets taken for genetic material.
At the root of the hair, there is where the genetic material sits. There's cells around the root, so it's very important that we rip out the hair. And there we go. And we've got the roots right here at the end. You can see the little bulge. Yeah. And that's the DNA where that sits.
Contraceptives are used on some of the female lions to maintain the size of populations in Addo National Park and keep it at a manageable level.
We've got 13 lions at the moment in Addo National Park. There's 7 on the main camp side and another 5 on the Nyati side. So they are sort of separate populations, but we manage them as a meta population. So there will be swapping of genetics, on a regular basis. When I say regular, every 2 to 3 years, we would bring in a new male, or take the older males off and swap the coalition. In a normal system, in a sort of open system, there would be a lot more mortalities, natural mortalities of the cubs, what they call infanticides. When a new coalition comes into that area, he will actually kill the cubs. But in these smaller parks, we don't have that infanticide. We don't have that natural process of coalition takeovers on a regular basis.
As the park is a closed and fenced park, predator numbers have to be kept in check.
It's really important for us to control the predator population, so we have to look at obviously what prey is available for them. So we're keeping our predator numbers limited so that they don't deplete the prey population. So it's really important to do operations like this where we collar the animals, contracept the females, so we know exactly what's happening with the lion population.
With all the tests done and his collar removed, it was time for Jack to wake up. A bit sleepy and groggy at first, but he was soon his old self again, ready to show off all his lion magnificence to visitors in the park. Linky Bierman, SABC News, Addo Elephant National Park.